How to get rich by paying rent. 8 steps to financial freedom without owning a home. Big city strategies. Introduction. Renting is not a barrier to wealth. Everyone tells you the same lie. If you're renting, you're throwing money away. They say it with absolute certainty. Your parents say it. Your friends say it. Financial gurus say it. Buy a house, build equity, stop paying your landlord's mortgage. Here's the truth. That's complete nonsense. Renting is not throwing money away. Buying a home with no strategy is. The biggest financial trap in modern society is believing that home ownership equals wealth, while renting equals failure. Think about it. Some of the wealthiest people in the world rent. Billionaires rent penthouses. Tech founders rent in San Francisco. Successful entrepreneurs rent in London, Tokyo, Dubai. Why? Because they understand something most people don't. A house is not an investment. It's a lifestyle choice. Real wealth is not about the address on your deed. It's about the freedom in your bank account. And here's the ultimate truth about wealth for renters. When rising rent doesn't shake you, when property taxes don't drain you, and when housing crashes don't control you, you're building wealth faster than homeowners ever could. This is especially true in big cities: New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, London. Rent is expensive. But here's what nobody tells you. Big cities also have the highest income potential, the best career opportunities, and the fastest paths to wealth. The problem is not the rent. The problem is that most people have no financial strategy. They earn good money and spend all of it. They blame the city while making zero effort to optimize, invest, or build. Wealthy renters do the opposite. They see rent as the cost of access to opportunities that don't exist anywhere else. They budget strategically. They invest aggressively. And within years, they've built wealth most homeowners take decades to accumulate. In this audiobook, you will learn how to build financial freedom while renting. You will discover how to destroy the rent versus buy myth, master big city budgeting, build high-income skills, invest the difference, eliminate debt faster, create mobility funds, use city perks without lifestyle inflation, and plan your strategic exit or scale. This is not about pretending rent is cheap. This is about using rent as a launchpad instead of an anchor. You don't need to own property to own your financial future. So, take a deep breath, open your mind, and prepare to step into freedom that homeowners can only dream about. Let's begin.
Chapter 1. The Rent versus Buy Myth. Why renting can make you richer. Society says rent is wasted money, but nobody calculates what home ownership actually costs. They see the monthly mortgage payment and think that's building equity. They compare it to rent and say, see, same price, but one builds wealth. But that comparison is a lie, because the mortgage payment is just the beginning. Let me break down the real cost of home ownership, the costs nobody talks about. First, the mortgage itself. Let's say you buy a $500,000 home with 20% down. That's $100,000 up front, money that could have been invested. Your mortgage? $2,500 a month for 30 years. Sounds manageable, right? Wrong. Because over 30 years, you won't pay $500,000 for that house. You'll pay closer to $900,000. Why? Interest. The bank gets $400,000 just for lending you money. That's nearly double the home's original price. But it doesn't stop there. Property taxes. Depending on where you live, that's $5,000 to $15,000 every single year. In high-tax states like New Jersey or California, even higher. Over 30 years, that's $150,000 to $450,000 in taxes alone. Insurance. Homeowners insurance runs $2,000 to $5,000 per year. Over 30 years, another $60,000 to $150,000. Maintenance. The rule of thumb is 1% to 3% of your home's value per year. For a $500,000 home, that's $5,000 to $15,000 annually. Over 30 years, $150,000 to $450,000. And that's just routine maintenance, lawn care, HVAC servicing, gutter cleaning. Repairs. This is where homeowners get destroyed. Your roof needs replacing? $10,000 to $20,000. Furnace dies? $5,000 to $8,000. Plumbing disaster? $3,000 to $15,000. Foundation issues? $20,000 plus. These aren't hypotheticals. These are realities every homeowner faces. HOA fees. If you're in a condo or planned community, add $200 to $800 per month. That's $2,400 to $9,600 per year. Over 30 years, another $72,000 to $288,000. Add it all up. That $500,000 house, the true cost over 30 years is closer to $1.5 million to $2 million when you include interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and HOA fees. Now let's talk about liquidity, or the lack of it. Your equity is locked. You can't access it unless you sell the house or refinance, both expensive, time-consuming processes. If the market crashes, your equity evaporates. If you need cash for an emergency, you can't just withdraw from your house. Compare that to renting. Strategic renters do this. They rent for $2,500 a month, same as the mortgage payment, right? But here's the difference. They take that $100,000 down payment they didn't spend on a house and they invest it. They take the $500 a month they're not spending on property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, and they invest that too. Let's run the numbers.
Scenario A. The homeowner buys a $500,000 home with $100,000 down, pays $2,500 per month mortgage for 30 years, pays property tax, insurance, maintenance, repairs. Total spent over 30 years, approximately $1.5 million. Final equity, if the home appreciates 3% annually, approximately $1.2 million. Liquid net worth, $0 until they sell. Scenario B. The strategic renter rents for $2,500 per month, same as the mortgage, invests $100,000 down payment immediately, invests an extra $500 per month saved from property taxes, insurance, maintenance, 30 years at 8% average annual return, S&P 500 historical average. Final portfolio value, approximately $1.8 million. Liquid net worth, $1.8 million, accessible anytime. The renter ends up with $600,000 more, and it's liquid. No selling required, no agent fees, no closing costs, just wealth they can access whenever they want. Now let's contrast the two lifestyles. The homeowner, tied to one location, can't easily relocate for a better job, stuck with surprise expenses, $8,000 for a new roof, $6,000 for a broken HVAC system. Every repair eats into their budget. Stressed about market crashes. Equity locked. Options limited. The strategic renter, mobile, can move to a better city, a better job, a cheaper cost of living area in 30 days. No surprise repair bills. Investments growing steadily. Wealth liquid. Options unlimited. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have $400,000 locked in a house that you can't touch without selling, or $1.8 million liquid in investments that you can access, grow, and live off whenever you choose? The answer should be obvious. But here's what people will say. But rent goes up every year. True, but so does property taxes. So does insurance. So does the cost of repairs. Homeownership is not immune to inflation. And here's what they won't say. But my house could lose value. It happened in 2008. Millions of homeowners went underwater, owing more than their homes were worth.
Renters? Unaffected. They kept investing. They bought the stock market dip. They came out ahead. Look, I'm not saying buying a home is evil. If you want to buy a home because you love the location, you want stability, you want to customize your space, fine, do it. But don't lie to yourself and call it an investment. It's a lifestyle choice, and it's an expensive one. Wealth is not built by locking money into a house for 30 years. Wealth is built by keeping your money liquid, invested, and growing in assets that compound faster than real estate ever will. Here's your challenge. Calculate your own rent versus buy scenario. Find a house you'd want to buy. Look up the mortgage, property tax, insurance, and maintenance costs. Add them all up for 30 years. Then calculate what you'd have if you rented instead and invested the difference. Be honest with the numbers. Include everything.
You'll be shocked, because home ownership can be a goal, but it's not a requirement for wealth. And for many people, especially those living in expensive cities, renting is the smarter, richer, freer choice. So stop letting society shame you for renting. You're not throwing money away. You're choosing financial flexibility, liquidity, and freedom. And those things, they're priceless. Chapter 2. Master the 70-30 Big City Budget Rule. The 50-30-20 budget rule? It doesn't work in New York, San Francisco, or London. Rent alone eats up 40% of your income. You've probably heard the traditional budgeting advice: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings. It sounds perfect, balanced, reasonable. But if you live in a big city, that rule is useless, because in expensive cities, your rent isn't 30% of your income, it's 40%, sometimes 50%. Add utilities, groceries, and transportation, and your essentials are already at 70% before you've spent a dime on anything else. So what do most people do? They follow the old rule anyway. They try to force 50-30-20 into a budget that doesn't fit. And they fail. They overspend, they save nothing, they stress constantly, and they blame the city. But the city isn't the problem. The framework is. Here's the solution. The 70-30 rule for big city renters. It's simple. 70% of your income goes to essentials. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, the things you cannot avoid. 30% goes to wealth building and quality of life. 20% for investments, 10% for the things that make life worth living. This rule acknowledges reality. Big cities are expensive. Rent is high. But if you optimize every category, you can still build serious wealth while enjoying your life. Let me show you how. First, let's contrast two types of renters. Survival renters. They spend 90% of their income on essentials because they've never optimized. They live alone in expensive neighborhoods. They own a car they rarely use. They buy groceries at Whole Foods without a plan. They eat out constantly. Every month they're broke. Zero savings, maximum stress. They complain about rent, but change nothing. Strategic city dwellers. They spend 70% on essentials because they've optimized ruthlessly. They have a roommate. They live near public transportation. They meal prep. They use free city resources. They invest 20% of their income religiously. They enjoy life with the remaining 10%. They're calm. They're building wealth. And they love the city because they've mastered it. The difference? Strategy. Let me give you 4 optimization tactics that will transform your budget. Tactic 1. The roommate strategy. Living alone in a big city is a luxury most people can't afford if they want to build wealth. A 1-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood? $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
But a 2-bedroom split with a roommate? $1,000 to $1,500 each. That's $12,000 to $18,000 saved per year. Invested over 10 years at 8% return? That's $200,000 plus, all because you shared space for a few years. I know what you're thinking. But I'm 30. I don't want a roommate. Fine. Stay broke. Or recognize that wealthy people make strategic sacrifices early so they can live however they want later. Your choice. Tactic 2. Neighborhood arbitrage. Everyone wants to live in the trendiest neighborhood. Brooklyn, Venice Beach, Soma. And landlords know it, so they charge a premium. But here's the secret. You don't need to live in the trendy spot. You need to live near efficient public transportation in a safe, boring neighborhood. Find the neighborhood that's 15 minutes by subway from where you work or socialize. Rent there. You'll save 30 to 40% on rent. You'll still have access to everything the city offers, but you won't be paying the cool neighborhood tax. That's another $500 to $800 per month saved. Another $6,000 to $10,000 per year. Invested over 10 years, another $100,000 plus. Tactic 4. Car elimination. If you live in a city with decent public transportation, owning a car is financial suicide. Car payment, $400 a month. Insurance, $150 a month. Gas, $150 a month. Parking, $200 to $400 a month in cities like SF or NYC. Maintenance and repairs, $100 a month average. Total, $1,000 to $1,200 per month. That's $12,000 to $14,000 per year. Compare that to a monthly Metro Pass, $100 to $150. Even if you add occasional Ubers or car rentals, you're still spending less than $3,000 per year. Savings, $9,000 to $11,000 annually. Over 10 years, invested at 8%, that's $150,000 to $180,000. Sell the car, use public transportation, walk, bike, your wallet will thank you. Tactic 5. Grocery optimization. Most people waste $500 to $800 per month on food. They eat out constantly. They buy groceries without a plan. They throw away half of what they buy. Strategic renters do this instead. Meal prep on Sundays. Cook in bulk. Eat the same meals for lunch and dinner. Saves time and money. Buy in bulk. Costco, Trader Joe's, ethnic grocery stores. You'll spend 40% less than Whole Foods or boutique markets. Avoid restaurants. Eat out once or twice a week, max. The rest, home-cooked meals. With this approach, you can cut your food spending from $700 a month to $350 a month. That's $4,200 saved per year. Over 10 years, invested, another $60,000 plus. Now, let's put it all together with a real budget example.
Income, $4,000 a month, post-tax. Essentials, 70% target, $2,800. Rent, roommate, optimized neighborhood, $1,200. Utilities, $100. Groceries, meal prep, bulk buying, $350. Transportation, Metro Pass, $130. Insurance, health, renters, $150. Total essentials, $1,930, 48%. Wealth building, 20% target, $800. Investments, index funds, Roth IRA, $800. Quality of life, 10% target, $400. Dining out, entertainment, hobbies, gym, $400. Buffer, 22%, $870. Extra savings, emergency fund top-up, irregular expenses. Look at that. Living in a big city, rent paid, bills covered, investing $800 a month, still enjoying life with $400 for fun, and a $870 buffer for flexibility. That's $9,600 invested per year. Over 10 years at 8% return? That's $140,000 plus. Over 20 years? $440,000 plus. Over 30 years? $1.1 million. All while living in one of the most expensive cities in the world. That's the power of the 70-30 rule
combined with strategic optimization. But here's the key. You have to actually track your spending. Most people have no idea where their money goes. They guess, they assume, and they wonder why they're always broke. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, track every single expense. Every coffee, every Uber, every meal, every subscription. Write it all down. At the end of the week, add it up. Categorize it. Essentials, investments, quality of life. Are your essentials over 70%? Then you need to optimize. Roommate? Cheaper neighborhood. Ditch the car. Meal prep. Are you investing 20%? If not, cut the fat. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Stop eating out 5 times a week. Redirect that money to investments. This isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. It's about making your money work for you instead of disappearing into overpriced rent, unnecessary cars, and mindless spending. Big cities aren't expensive. You just haven't optimized yet. So optimize, track, adjust, invest, and watch your wealth grow while everyone else complains about rent. Because the 70-30 rule isn't just a budget, it's a weapon. And once you master it, you'll never feel trapped by a big city again.
Chapter 3. Build wealth through high-income skills, not jobs. Living in New York, San Francisco, or London costs a fortune. But here's the secret. These cities have the world's highest income opportunities. The problem is, most people never tap into them. They take a $60,000 job. They pay $2,000 in rent. And they spend the next decade struggling, complaining, and wondering why they can't get ahead. They blame the city, they blame their salary, they blame the economy. But they never blame the real problem, their approach to income. Here's the truth. If you're living in an expensive city with a single capped income stream, you're playing a losing game. High rent plus low income equals financial stress, always. The solution? Build high-income skills. Not a job, not a promotion, not a 3% annual raise. Skills. Skills that are location-independent, scalable, and recession-proof. Skills that turn your time into $100, $200, even $500 per hour instead of $25. Let me break down 5 high-income skill categories that anyone can learn and monetize within 6 to 12 months. Category 1. Tech and software. You don't need a computer science degree. You need a few focused skills. Coding. Learn Python, JavaScript, or web development. Freelance developers charge $75 to $150 per hour to build apps, automate tasks, create websites. The demand is endless. UX/UI design. Companies pay $5,000 to $20,000 per project for designers who can make their apps and websites user-friendly. Learn Figma, build a portfolio, start charging. Data analysis. Businesses need people who can analyze data and provide insights. Learn Excel, SQL, Python, and Tableau. Charge $80 to $120 per hour as a freelance data analyst. Category 2. Marketing and sales. Copywriting. This is one of the fastest paths to high income. Companies pay $3,000 to $15,000 per project for sales pages, email sequences, and ad copy. Learn persuasive writing. Study proven frameworks. Start with small clients. Scale fast. SEO consulting. Businesses desperately need traffic. If you can rank their websites on Google, you're worth $2,000 to $10,000 per month per client. Learn SEO through free resources, get results for one client, then scale. Paid ads management. Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads. Manage ad budgets for businesses and take 10 to 20% of ad spend as your fee. A client spending $10,000 per month on ads, you make $1,000 to $2,000 just for managing it. Category 3. Creative. Video editing. YouTube creators, businesses, influencers, they all need editors. Charge $500 to $3,000 per video, depending on complexity. Learn Premiere Pro or Final Cut.
Build a portfolio with free or cheap projects, then charge. Graphic design, logos, branding, social media graphics. Businesses pay $500 to $5,000 per project. Learn Canva, Illustrator, Photoshop. Build a portfolio. Start charging. 3D modeling. The demand for 3D artists is exploding. Games, movies, product design, virtual reality. Learn Blender, free software. Charge $75 to $150 per hour. Category 4, consulting. Business strategy consulting. If you have experience in a specific industry, you can consult. Help businesses solve problems, optimize operations, grow revenue. Charge $150 to $500 per hour. Financial advising. People need help managing money, investing, planning for retirement. Get certified, CFP, CFA. Charge $200 to $500 per hour or take a percentage of assets under management. Executive coaching. Help professionals level up their careers, leadership, and mindset. Charge $200 to $1,000 per session. Category 5, content creation. YouTube. Build an audience. Monetize through ads, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, digital products. Successful creators make $10,000 to $100,000 plus per month. Podcasting. Same model as YouTube. Ads, sponsorships, premium content. Top podcasters make 6 to 7 figures annually. Online courses. Package your knowledge. Teach a skill. Sell courses on Udemy, Teachable, Gumroad. Earn $5,000 to $50,000 per month passively. Now, let's contrast two mindsets. Job mindset. Trade time for money. Work 40 hours a week, earn a fixed salary. $50,000, $70,000, maybe $90,000 if you're lucky. Income is capped. If you get laid off, income drops to zero. One stream, total dependence, high risk. Skill stack mindset. Build multiple income streams. Freelance, $3,000 a month on the side. Scale to $5,000, then $8,000. Maybe create a digital product that earns passive income. Your main job becomes one of several income sources. If you lose it, you're still okay. Multiple streams, independence, low risk. Which sounds better? Let me give you a real example. Renter A works a $55,000 per year job in San Francisco. After taxes, takes home about $3,800 per month. Rent is $1,800. Essentials are $1,500. Left over, $500. Barely saving, stressed constantly. One bad month away from financial disaster. Renter B, same $55,000 per year job, but also freelances as a copywriter on nights and weekends. Earns an extra $2,500 per month. Total monthly income, $6,300. Rent is $1,800, essentials are $1,500, investments are $1,500 a month. Quality of life, $700. Buffer, $800. Renter B is investing $18,000 per year. Over 10 years at 8% return, that's $260,000. Over 20 years, $830,000. Same rent, same city, different strategy, different outcome. So, how do you build a high-income skill? Here's the path.
Months 1 through 3. Learn the skill. YouTube is free. Udemy courses cost $10 to $50. Books cost $15. There's no excuse. Pick one skill. Dedicate 10 hours per week. Learn the fundamentals. Months 4 through 6. Build a portfolio. Do 3 to 5 projects for free or cheap. Friends, family, small businesses, nonprofits. Get testimonials. Build proof that you can deliver results. Month 7 and beyond. Land paying clients. Join Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer. Optimize your LinkedIn. Network in online communities. Reach out to businesses directly. Start at $500 to $1,000 per project. As you gain experience, raise your rates. Within 12 months,
you can realistically be earning an extra $1,000 to $3,000 per month. That's $12,000 to $36,000 per year. That's life-changing money for someone living in an expensive city. And the beauty of high-income skills? They're location independent. You can work from anywhere. You can scale. You can eventually replace your job entirely if you want. Let me ask you a question. What skill could you learn in 6 months that would add $1,000 per month to your income? Copywriting? Video editing? Coding? Data analysis? Pick one. Just one. Don't try to learn everything. Master one skill first. Then add another if you want. Here's your challenge. This week, pick one high-income skill. Commit to spending 5 hours learning it. Watch tutorials, read articles, take a course. Just start. Because the income ceiling in big cities is not your $70,000 salary. It's your willingness to build skills that the market values. Big cities are expensive, but income potential is unlimited. The opportunities are everywhere. Online, in person, freelance, consulting, content creation. The question is, will you seize them, or will you keep complaining about rent while doing nothing to increase your income? Wealthy renters don't wait for raises. They build skills. They monetize them. They stack income streams. And they win. So start today. Pick the skill. Learn it. Build it. Monetize it. And watch your financial stress disappear as your income climbs. Because the city isn't your enemy. Your single income stream is. Fix that, and everything changes. Chapter 4. Invest the rent versus own difference. Everyone says, if you owned, you'd be building equity. But nobody calculates this. They see homeowners bragging about equity and feel like failures for renting. They think, I'm just paying my landlord's mortgage. I'm getting nothing in return.
But here's what they don't realize. Equity grows slow, real slow. The average home appreciates 3% to 4% per year. The stock market? It averages 8% to 10% per year over the long term. That's double, sometimes triple. And it's liquid. You can access it anytime. No selling, no agent fees, no closing costs. Just wealth you control. So here's the strategy. Invest the rent versus own difference. Every dollar you're not spending on home ownership, invest it aggressively, consistently, and watch it grow faster than home equity ever could. Let me show you the math. The homeowner. Let's say you buy a $400,000 home with 20% down. That's $80,000 up front, gone from your investment potential immediately. Your mortgage payment? $2,400 per month for 30 years at 6% interest. But it doesn't stop there. Property tax, $400 per month. Homeowners insurance, $150 per month. Maintenance and repairs, $300 per month on average. Total monthly cost, $3,250. Over 20 years, assuming 3% annual appreciation, your home is now worth about $720,000. You've paid off about $200,000 of principal. Your equity, roughly $350,000. That sounds great until you realize it's locked. You can't touch it without selling or refinancing, both expensive processes. The renter. Now let's say you rent instead. Your rent? $2,200 per month. That's $1,050 less than the homeowner's total monthly cost. You didn't spend $80,000 on a down payment, so you invest it. You invest the $150 monthly difference too. Here's what happens over 20 years at an 8% average annual return, the historical average of the S&P 500. 1. $80,000 lump sum invested grows to $373,000. 2. $1,050 per month invested grows to $617,000. 3. Total portfolio, $990,000. Wait, let me say that again. The renter has $990,000 in liquid investments. The homeowner has $350,000 in locked home equity. The renter has $640,000 more wealth, and it's accessible, diversified, growing, compounding. The homeowner? Stuck. If they need cash, they have to sell the house, pay a 6% agent commission, pay closing costs, and hope the market is up when they need to sell. Let's be conservative. Maybe the stock market only averages 7% instead of 8%. The renter still ends up with $820,000, still $470,000 ahead. Even if rent increases 3% per year over those 20 years, the renter can adjust their budget or move to a cheaper place. Flexibility, options, control. The homeowner? Property taxes increase, insurance increases, repairs get more expensive, and they can't move without selling. Now let's talk about liquidity.
Illiquid equity versus liquid wealth. Home equity is trapped. You can't withdraw it for emergencies. You can't use it to invest in opportunities. You can't access it when the market crashes to buy stocks on sale. It just sits there, locked in walls and a roof. And if the housing market crashes, your equity evaporates. 2008 proved this. Millions of homeowners lost 30%, 40%, even 50% of their home's value overnight. Equity wiped out. Mortgages underwater. Foreclosures everywhere. Meanwhile, renters with investment portfolios? Sure, their stocks dropped too, but they didn't panic. They kept investing. They bought the dip. And within a few years, they were richer than before. Stock portfolios are liquid. You can withdraw money anytime. You can rebalance. You can take advantage of opportunities. You're in control. Home equity? You're at the mercy of the market, the economy, and the costs of selling. So how do you actually do this? How do you invest the difference? Step 1. Open a brokerage account. Go to Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab. It takes 10 minutes. Free to open, no minimums at most brokers. Step 2. Set up automatic monthly investments. Invest in low-cost index funds, S&P 500 index fund, total stock market ETF. These funds track the overall market, diversified, low fees. Historically, they return 8 to 10% per year over the long term. Don't try to pick individual stocks. Don't try to time the market. Just invest consistently, every month, automatically. Step 3, never touch it. Let compound interest do its magic. The longer you leave it, the more it grows. $1,000 invested today at 8% becomes $2,159 in 10 years, $4,661 in 20 years, $10,063 in 30 years. That's the power of compounding. Time and consistency beat everything. Now let me ask you a question. Would you rather have $350,000 locked in a house that you can't access without selling, or $680,000 to $990,000 in a liquid investment portfolio that you can access, grow, and pass down to your kids? The answer is obvious. But people don't do this. Why? Because investing feels scary. The stock market feels risky. A house feels safe, tangible, real. But here's the truth. Over the long term, the stock market is one of the safest, most reliable wealth-building tools in history. Yes, it goes up and down in the short term, but over 20, 30, 40 years, it goes up. Always has. And unlike a house, you're not betting on one single property in one single neighborhood. You're owning a piece of thousands of companies across the entire economy. That's real diversification. So here's your challenge. This week, open a brokerage account. It takes 10 minutes. Then invest your first $100. Just $100. Get started. Because the difference between renters who stay broke and renters who get rich is this. Broke renters spend the rent versus own difference on nothing. Rich renters invest it.
They don't waste it on bigger apartments, nicer cars, or eating out every night. They invest it month after month, year after year. And 20 years later, they're millionaires. Meanwhile, homeowners are still paying off their mortgages, stressing about property taxes, and hoping their home appreciated enough to make it all worth it. Look, I'm not saying never buy a home. If you want to buy one day, fine, but don't pretend it's an investment. It's a lifestyle choice, and it's an expensive one. Real wealth is built through liquid, growing, compounding investments, not locked equity. Home equity isn't wealth. It's trapped money. Investment portfolios? That's real wealth. Liquid, growing, accessible, powerful. So stop letting people shame you for renting. You're not throwing money away. You're choosing to invest the difference. And that difference? It's going to make you richer than they'll ever be. Now go open that brokerage account, invest the difference, and build the kind of wealth homeowners can only dream about. Chapter 5. Eliminate debt faster as a renter. Homeowners say, I have mortgage debt, but at least I own a home. You say, I'm debt-free and I'm free. Here's the truth most people miss. Renting gives you a massive advantage when it comes to destroying debt. Why? Because you don't have a mortgage. You don't have surprise repair bills. You don't have property taxes draining your cash flow. Every extra dollar you earn can go straight to obliterating your debt. Homeowners don't have that luxury. Let's talk about debt. There are 3 types, and you need to attack them in order. Type 1. High-interest debt. Credit cards at 20% plus, payday loans at 30% plus, personal loans at 25%. This is financial poison. Every month you carry this debt, you're getting destroyed by interest. Kill it first. No exceptions. Type 2. Medium interest debt. Car loans at 7 to 12%, personal loans at 10 to 15%. These hurt, but they're not as toxic as credit cards. Attack these second. Type 3. Low interest debt. Student loans at 3 to 6%. Mortgages, if you had one, but you're renting, so you don't. These are the lowest priority. Pay the minimum, invest the rest. Because your investments will likely earn more than the interest you're paying. Now let's contrast how homeowners and renters pay off debt.
The homeowner, monthly mortgage payment, $2,400. Property tax, $400. Insurance, $150. Maintenance fund, $300. Surprise roof repair this month, $600. Total home costs, $3,850 this month. After rent and essentials, they have maybe $400 left to throw at their $15,000 credit card debt. At that rate, it takes them 5+ years to pay it off, and they'll pay over $10,000 in interest. The renter, monthly rent, $2,000. No property tax, no insurance beyond renter's insurance, no maintenance, no surprise repairs. After rent and essentials, they have $1,200 to attack that same $15,000 credit card debt. At that rate, debt-free in 14 months. Total interest paid, about $2,500. Same debt, different situation. The renter wins by 3 years and $7,500. So how do you actually do this? Here's the debt blitz strategy. Step 1. List all your debts. Write down every single one. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, student loans. List the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment. Order them by interest rate, highest first. Step 2. Cut your expenses by 30% for 6 months. Extreme mode. No dining out. No subscriptions you don't need. No new clothes. No unnecessary spending. Every dollar you free up goes to debt. Step 3. Side hustle. Find a way to earn an extra $500 to $1,000 per month. Freelance. Drive for Uber. Sell stuff you don't need. Anything. That extra income, straight to debt. Step 4. Attack. Throw 100% of your extra cash at the highest interest debt. Minimum payments on everything else, all focused on the top target.
Step 5, celebrate and roll. When you kill the first debt, celebrate. Then take that payment and add it to the next debt on the list. Your payments snowball, momentum builds, debt disappears faster and faster. Here's a real example. You have $15,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. You're a renter, so after optimizing your budget and adding side hustle income, you have $1,200 per month to attack it. Month 1, $15,000 balance. You pay $1,200, interest eats $275. Balance drops to $14,075. Month 5, balance is $10,200. You're gaining momentum. Month 10, balance is $4,800. You can see the finish line. Month 14, debt is gone. You're free. Total interest paid, $2,500. Time to freedom, 14 months.
Compare that to the homeowner paying $400 per month. It takes them over 5 years. They pay $10,000 plus in interest, and they're still stressed, still trapped, still stuck. You, debt-free in just over a year. And now, that $1,200 a month goes straight to investments. Within 5 years, that's $72,000 invested. At 8% return, that's $105,000. In 10 years, over $220,000. That's the power of being debt-free as a renter. Here's your challenge. Today, list all your debts, every single one. Calculate the total balance. Calculate the total interest you're paying monthly. Let that number shock you into action. Then create your attack plan. Which debt dies first? How much can you throw at it per month? When will you be free? Commit to 30 days of extreme budgeting. Cut ruthlessly. Earn extra. Attack aggressively. Because homeownership can trap you in debt. Renting can free you faster. You have the advantage. Now use it. Debt-free isn't a dream. It's a decision. And once you're free, you'll never go back. Chapter 6. Build a 12-month mobility fund, not just emergency. Homeowners need 6-month emergency funds. You need a 12-month mobility fund. What's the difference? An emergency fund is defensive. It covers you when life goes wrong, job loss, medical bills, car breakdown. It keeps you afloat during a crisis. A mobility fund is offensive and defensive. It covers crises, yes, but it also gives you the power to seize opportunities. Better job in another city? You can move. Want to start a business? You have runway. Market crashes and stocks go on sale? You can buy without touching your investments. 10 years later, that decision makes you rich. Now contrast the two.
Trapped, homeowners, tied to one location, can't leave without selling. Selling takes months. Agent fees eat 6% of the sale. Closing costs take another chunk. If the market's down, they might even lose money. Meanwhile, opportunities pass them by. Mobile renters. Give 30 days notice. Relocate anywhere in the world. Seize opportunities the moment they appear. No selling, no waiting, just freedom. So how do you build a 12-month mobility fund? Step 1. Calculate your target. Add up your essential monthly expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance. Let's say it's $2,800 per month. Multiply by 12. Your target? $33,600. Step 2. Open a high-yield savings account. Use Marcus, Ally, or Wealthfront. These accounts pay 4 to 5% APY. Your money grows while sitting there, unlike a regular bank account earning 0.01%. Step 3. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer. Every paycheck, $700 goes straight to your mobility fund. You don't see it, you don't touch it, it just builds. At $700 per month, you'll hit $33,600 in 4 years. Want to speed it up? Throw bonuses.
tax refunds, and side hustle income directly into the fund. Step 4. Only touch it for the right reasons. This fund is for career changes, relocations, major opportunities, or true emergencies. Not for vacations, not for impulse purchases. Protect it. Let me give you a real story. Renter A lived in San Francisco. Rent, $3,500 per month. Salary, $120,000. After expenses, saving $800 per month. Stressful, but manageable. Then he built a 12-month mobility fund, $42,000 saved. A year later, his company went fully remote. Same $120,000 salary, but now he could live anywhere. He moved to Austin. Rent dropped to $1,600. Cost of living dropped 40%. His savings exploded from $800 per month to $2,700 per month. 3 years later, he had $100,000 in net worth, debt-free, investments growing, stress-free. Homeowner B, also in San Francisco, same salary, but owned a $900,000 home. Mortgage, $4,500 per month. Property taxes, $900 per month. Maintenance, $400 per month. When the remote opportunity came, he couldn't move. His home was underwater. Selling would mean a loss, so he stayed. High cost of living, high stress, missed opportunity. 10 years later, Renter A is a millionaire living wherever he wants. Homeowner B is still tied to San Francisco, still stressed, still stuck. That's the power of a mobility fund. Here's your challenge. This week, open a high-yield savings account specifically for your mobility fund. Deposit your first $500, set your 12-month target, commit to automatic monthly transfers. Because emergency funds help you survive. Mobility funds help you thrive. And as a renter, mobility is your superpower. Use it.
Chapter 7. Use big city perks without big city costs. People who say big cities are unaffordable are blind to the free and cheap advantages everywhere. Here's the truth. Big cities are simultaneously the most expensive and the most affordable places to live. It all depends on your strategy. Most people see only the costs. $18 cocktails, $25 salads, $200 gym memberships, $80 Ubers. They spend recklessly, complain constantly, and wonder why they're always broke. But smart renters see the opportunities. Free museums, free concerts, free fitness classes, public libraries with co-working spaces, networking events with free food. They live rich lives while spending almost nothing. Let me give you 7 free or cheap big city hacks that will save you thousands per year. Hack 1. Public libraries. Libraries aren't just for books anymore. They're free co-working spaces with Wi-Fi, desks, and quiet rooms. Free courses on everything from coding to investing. Free events, author talks, and workshops. Stop paying $6 for coffee at Starbucks just to use their Wi-Fi. Go to the library, work there, learn there, network there. Save $200 plus per month. Hack 2. Free events. Every major city has hundreds of free events every week. Concerts and parks, art gallery openings with free wine, networking meetups, lectures, film screenings. Use Eventbrite. Use Meetup. Use local Facebook groups. You'll find more free entertainment than you have time for. Save $300 plus per month on entertainment. Hack 3. Public transportation mastery. If your city has decent public transportation, ditch the car. A monthly Metro Pass costs $100 to $150. Compare that to owning a car. $400 car payment, $150 insurance, $150 gas, $200 parking, $100 maintenance. That's $1,000 a month for a car versus $130 for unlimited public transport. Save $870 a month. Over 10 years, that's $104,000 saved.
Hack 4. Happy hours and food specials. Want to eat out without breaking the bank? Go to happy hours. $8 meals instead of $35. $5 drinks instead of $18. You still socialize, you still network, but you spend 70% less. Research food specials. Taco Tuesdays. Half-price pizza days. Early bird discounts. Smart eaters in expensive cities never pay full price. Hack 5. Community programs. Most cities offer free or cheap fitness classes in parks. Free yoga, free boot camps, free dance classes. Check your city's parks and recreation department. Community centers, YMCAs, and local nonprofits offer free or low-cost education programs, mentorship, career workshops. Take advantage. Save $150 plus per month on gym memberships and courses.
Hack 6. Sample sales and thrift shops. Want designer clothes without the designer prices? Sample sales, thrift stores, consignment shops. You can find $300 jackets for $30, $150 jeans for $15. Dress well, feel confident, spend 90% less, save $200 plus a month on clothing. Hack 7. City parks and outdoor spaces. Big cities have incredible parks, free outdoor gyms, running trails, basketball courts, picnic areas. Use them. Date nights? Picnic in the park instead of $100 dinners. Exercise? Bodyweight workouts in the park instead of $180 a month gyms. Family time? Playgrounds, free concerts, outdoor movies. Entertainment doesn't have to cost money. Use what your city already provides for free. Now let's contrast two types of renters. Lifestyle inflation renters, they earn $5,000 a month, they spend it all. $200 brunches every weekend, $180 gym membership they barely use, $150 bar nights, $80 Ubers because they're too lazy to take the subway. Monthly spending $2,500 on lifestyle inflation. Left for investing $0. Always broke, always stressed. Frugal opportunists, same $5,000 per month income, but they're strategic. $15 park picnics instead of $200 brunches, $0 outdoor workouts instead of $180 gyms, free museum days instead of $150 bar nights, $130 Metro Pass instead of $80 Ubers per week, monthly lifestyle spending $150, left for investing $1,800 per month, $21,600 per year, over 10 years at 8% return, $330,000. Same income, same city, different choices, different outcomes. Let me show you a real budget transformation. Before optimization, a New York renter earning $5,000 per month post-tax, always broke. Rent $2,200, solo studio in Manhattan. Car $650, payment, insurance, gas, parking. Dining out $800, gym $150. Entertainment, $300. Miscellaneous, $900. Left for investing, $0. Always broke, savings, $0. Future, bleak. After optimization, same income, same city, completely different life. Rent, $1,300. Roommate in Queens, near the subway. Transport, $130. Unlimited Metro Pass, no car. Groceries, $350. Meal prep, bulk buying. Entertainment, $80. Free events plus occasional treat. Gym, $0. Outdoor workouts, free park classes. Miscellaneous, $540. Left for investing, $1,800 per month.
That's $21,600 invested per year. In 10 years, $330,000. In 20 years, over $1 million. Same person, same income, same city, just smarter choices. Here's your challenge. This week, find 3 free events in your city. Concerts, meetups, workshops, art shows, whatever interests you. Attend at least one. While you're there, calculate how much you didn't spend. If you'd gone to a bar instead, would have cost $50 to $100. If you'd gone to a paid event, another $30 to $50.
But you went to something free. You networked, you learned, you enjoyed yourself, and you kept your money. Track that savings, redirect it to investments, and watch your wealth grow. Because big cities can bankrupt you or enrich you. The difference isn't the city, it's your strategy. Stop blaming rent. Stop complaining about costs. Start using the free resources all around you. The libraries, the parks, the events, the communities. They're there, waiting, and they cost nothing. Big cities aren't your enemy. Your spending habits are. Fix them and everything changes. Chapter 8. Plan your exit or scale strategy. You don't have to live in expensive cities forever, and that's powerful. Here's the truth. Big cities are tools for building wealth, not life sentences. You use them to gain skills, build networks, and increase income. Then you choose. Exit to a cheaper location and keep your income, or scale your income so high that rent becomes irrelevant. Either way, you win. Let me break down both strategies. Build and exit strategy. This is for people who want freedom, lower costs, and the ability to live anywhere while keeping big city income. Phase 1, years 1 to 3. Hustle hard in the big city. Build a high-income skill, copywriting, coding, design, consulting. Network aggressively. Attend events. Build your LinkedIn, land clients, or secure a remote-capable job. Phase 2, years 4 to 5. Transition to 100% remote work. Prove you can do your job from anywhere. Secure a fully remote position or build a freelance client base that doesn't require your physical presence. Phase 3, year 5 plus. Relocate strategically. Move to Austin, Nashville, Boise, Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, Bali. Your income stays the same. Your cost of living drops 50 to 70%. Your savings explode. Example, you're in San Francisco, earning $95,000. Rent is $3,200. After expenses, you save $800 a month. You secure a remote job. Move to Mexico City. Same $95,000 salary, rent drops to $1,000. Total cost of living, $2,500 a month. Now you're saving $3,500 a month, $42,000 per year. In 10 years, that's $500,000 plus invested. That's the exit strategy. Use the city, then leave and keep the income.
Build and scale strategy. This is for people who love their city and want to stay. The solution? Scale income so rent becomes a non-issue. Your goal? Make rent 15 to 20% of your income instead of 40%. Tactics. Job hop every 2 to 3 years for 20 to 30% raises. Turn side hustles into full businesses, earning $3,000 to $5,000 per month extra. Negotiate equity compensation at startups. Stack skills to become irreplaceable and command higher salaries. Example, you start in NYC earning $65,000. Rent is $2,000, 37% of your income. Stressful. 5-year plan? Job hop to $85,000, then $110,000. Launch a side hustle earning $3,000 per month. Total income? $146,000 per year. Rent? Still $2,000, now just 16% of income. Comfortable. You invest $4,000 per month. In 10 years, you have $500,000 plus net worth. That's the scale strategy. Stay in the city, but make so much money that rent doesn't matter. Now, contrast the two types of renters. Stuck renters, same $60,000 income for 10 years. Rent rises from $1,500 to $2,200. Constant stress. No plan, just complaining. Strategic renters,
exit or scale plan in motion, executing, winning. Here's your 5-year vision exercise. Number 1. Do you want to live in this city in 5 years? 2. What's your realistic income goal? 3. Can your job become remote? 4. If exiting, where would you go? List 3 cities. 5. Set your target exit or scale date. Your challenge: write your 5-year plan today. Build and exit or build and scale. Pick one, commit. Because big cities are launch pads, not prisons. Use them, then choose your next move. Conclusion: you don't need to own to win. You've just learned 8 strategies that prove renting can make you richer than owning. Let's recap fast. Chapter 1. Renting can make you richer than owning. The math proves it. $680,000 liquid portfolio beats $350,000 locked equity every time. Chapter 2. Master the 70-30 budget rule for big cities. Optimize essentials. Invest 20%. Build wealth while living in expensive places. Chapter 3. High-income skills are wealth accelerators. Big cities offer the world's best opportunities. Learn one skill, earn an extra $1,000 to $3,000 per month, change your life. Chapter 4. Invest the rent versus own difference. Every dollar you're not spending on property taxes, maintenance, and repairs, invest it. Watch it compound.
Chapter 5. Eliminate debt faster as a renter. No mortgage means all your extra cash attacks high-interest debt. Freedom in months, not years. Chapter 6. Build a 12-month mobility fund. It's not just emergency savings. It's opportunity money. Career changes, relocations, financial freedom. Chapter 7. Use big city perks without big city costs. Free events, public libraries, parks. Save $2,000 plus per month while living a rich life. Chapter 8. Plan your exit or scale strategy. Use the city as a tool, then relocate and keep your income, or scale income so rent becomes irrelevant. Here's the reality check. Buying a home isn't bad, but it's not required for wealth. Renting isn't throwing money away. Living without strategy is. Wealth is in your net worth, not in the deed to your address. So here's your final challenge. Take one action today. Open a brokerage account and invest your first $100. Start your mobility fund with $500. Pick a high-income skill and commit 5 hours to learning it. Just one action today. Because 5 years from now, you'll be one of 2 people. Renter with strategy, $250,000 net worth. Liquid investments, options to relocate anywhere, career flexibility, freedom. Homeowner without strategy, $200,000 locked in home equity. Can't access it without selling. Tied to one location, trapped. Which future do you want? Remember this. Flexibility means you can move anywhere, anytime. Opportunity means you can seize career and life changes instantly. Freedom means liquid wealth you control, not equity locked in walls. Now go build wealth without a mortgage. Wealth is not in the walls you own. It's in the choices you make. And you just made the right one.